So obviously I went into rehab for 3 months. I went in that even still with my doubts, and kind of very anxious because I'm going in a house full of people who I don't know. And, are also all sort of, alcoholics or drug addicts. And you just automatically fear the worst and think the worst. But in there, I learned a lot about toolkits and recovery tools, and just the acceptance of it, and that you're not alone, because that's one thing I know that is a real big stigma in addiction. You think you're the only one. You think you're the only person who's drinking that much or taking that much, or but I actually then learned that there's a lot of other people who are like me, and there is hope. And you see people who have been through it and they come out the other side, and you've got like hope sort of given to you. So it automatically then made me, when I got out, want to carry on these tools of working and basically working the program, keeping it up, and all the things I'd learned, just making sure that I still worked them. So basically there was things like journaling, there was things like if you're getting angry or you feel like you want to get out of a situation, there's a thing called a pause button. There was loads of different ways to cope with stuff, that by writing a lot of it down as well, you could look back on it. So I would have all these tools and I wouldn't be able to think of them all in my head. But where I had my little book with me, I'd be able to look and think, right, okay, if I feel this way, what are the options for me? Like something that might not be an option right now, but that one is, going for a walk or reading, or just, going and having a bath or making some food. Sometimes it's not always the right option, but then, sometimes it will work. So having all these different toolkits would be good, but obviously there's still only so much you can do on your own. One of the hardest things is reaching out and talking to other people, because sometimes you feel like if you reach out, you're going to be a burden on that other person. Or if you're reaching out to your key worker or, one of your counselors or something, you think if you've had a bit of a bad moment, you don't want to undo all the good. So you're worried that if you tell them, you're feeling rubbish and a lot more low, you think, well, I don't want them to think that I'm failing, It's definitely about honesty. And afterwards, after doing it for a few times and reaching out, you start to just get in the habit of it as well. And don't get me wrong, I'm 6 months clean now and I still find it hard to reach out, but I have to just force myself a little bit. Some days I still don't do it, but it's all a matter of learning, process of recovery.